Have you ever opened the fridge, stared at the milk and thought, now, why did I come in here again? Or maybe you've walked into a room and completely forgotten what you were about to do. Don't worry, that doesn't mean your brain is falling apart. It just means your brain, like the rest of your body, needs a little extra care and attention as you get older. And the great news is, it's never too late to give your mind the workout it deserves. We often hear about physical exercise, right? Stretching, walking, lifting a few weights to keep the body strong. But what about mental exercise? Your brain is a powerful machine, one that needs regular use to stay sharp, alert, and focused. The moment we stop challenging it, it starts to slow down. But when we keep it active, it can stay just as vibrant at 70, 80, even 90 as it was in our younger years. Now, I'm not talking about doing crossword puzzles all day long, unless you really love those. I'm talking about fun, simple brain exercises you can add into your day-to-day life. Things that actually feel good while keeping your mind engaged. In this video, we're going to explore 7 science-backed, enjoyable ways to give your brain a daily tune-up. And you don't have to be a genius or tech wizard to do them. Let's start with something easy, something you can literally do right now, using your non-dominant hand. Yes, switching hands. It sounds silly, but it works. If you normally brush your teeth with your right hand, try using your left. Stir your coffee with the other hand. Hold your phone, open doors, even try writing your name, all with the hand you usually don't use. Why? Because this kind of simple switch forces your brain to create new neural connections. It gets your mind out of autopilot and into active problem-solving mode. I once met a gentleman who told me he started eating breakfast with his left hand every morning. At first, he was a mess, spilled yogurt everywhere. But after a few days, he found it fun, even energizing. His brain felt more awake, as he put it. That's because breaking routine challenges the brain to adapt, and that kind of stimulation is pure gold for mental sharpness. And speaking of gold, let's talk about music, one of the most joyful and effective brain exercises out there. Listening to music you love activates multiple areas of the brain at once: memory, emotion, coordination, even language. But playing music, that's next level. If you've ever thought about learning an instrument or picking one back up, now is the perfect time. You don't need to be a concert pianist. Even learning a few chords on the guitar or tapping rhythms on a drum can wake up your brain in powerful ways. It's not about playing perfectly. It's about engaging your mind and body in a rhythm. Even singing counts. Singing along to your favorite songs in the car or humming while doing chores. It's all brain exercise. A woman I spoke with at a senior community center told me she joined a small choir at age 75. She hadn't sung since she was a teen, but now she looks forward to it every week. She said she remembers lyrics faster, speaks more confidently, and even feels more cheerful. That's the magic of music. It connects memory, language, and emotion all at once. Now let's shift gears a bit, literally, because another way to exercise your brain is to change your environment. When we go to the same places, take the same routes, and follow the same routines day in and day out, our brain goes into autopilot. It stops paying attention. But when you take a new route to the store, sit in a different chair at the dinner table, or try a new activity at the community center, your brain wakes up. Try visiting a new park, walk around a different neighborhood. Even rearranging the furniture in your living room can do the trick. When your brain has to map out new spaces or navigate new surroundings, it becomes more alert, more flexible, more responsive. That kind of flexibility is what helps you remember better, think faster, and adapt more easily to change. And if you really want to challenge your brain in a way that's both fun and fulfilling, try learning a new language, or even just a few phrases. It doesn't matter if you never become fluent. The act of memorizing new words, practicing pronunciation, and understanding different sentence structures lights up areas of the brain that deal with memory, reasoning, and attention. I met a man who started learning Italian at 74 because he wanted to understand old opera songs. He practiced for 10 minutes a day using an app on his phone. He told me it made his morning coffee feel like a game, and he found that other areas of his memory started improving too. It wasn't just about Italian. It was about rewiring his brain with something new and exciting, The beautiful part about all of these exercises is that they don't feel like work. They feel like play. And that's the secret. The more enjoyable your brain workout is, the more likely you are to stick with it. That's what leads to real, lasting results. You don't have to study for hours or memorize long lists. You just have to show up for your brain, a little every day, in fun and surprising ways. Now that we've gotten a taste of how simple actions like switching hands, exploring music, changing your routine, and picking up new words can fire up your brain in powerful ways, you might already be thinking about which one you want to try first. And that's exactly where the magic begins, with curiosity, with that little spark inside that says, let me give this a go. You know, one of the most powerful things you can do for your brain has nothing to do with puzzles or apps or even movement. It's something that happens inside your head, and it starts with a story. That's right, storytelling. Our brains are wired for stories. We've been telling them since the beginning of time, around campfires, over dinner tables, through letters and photographs. And telling your own stories, especially from your own life, is one of the best brain exercises you can do. Think about what happens when you recall a memory. Your brain has to dig into the past, organize the details, make sense of them, and deliver it all in a way that's clear and meaningful. That's complex mental work, and it's good for you. The next time you're chatting with a friend or family member, try sharing a story from your childhood or a moment you've never told anyone before. The more detail you include, the smell of your grandmother's kitchen, the sound of your father's laughter, the color of the car you drove when you were 18, the more your brain lights up. If you live alone, try journaling instead. Write a few sentences each morning about a memory or about how you feel that day. Writing activates your language centers, your emotional memory, and your creativity all at once. Plus, it's a beautiful way to reflect and find meaning in the little things that often pass us by. And while we're talking about activating the brain in unique ways, let's not forget the power of movement. Not just any movement, but movement that requires coordination and focus. Think dancing, Tai Chi, even a simple step touch while clapping your hands in rhythm. These kinds of activities force your brain and body to communicate, which strengthens cognitive connections in real time. A lovely woman I once met, she was 82, swore by her weekly line dancing class. She said it wasn't just fun, it was her brain reboot. Memorizing steps, keeping time with the music, adjusting her pace. All of it made her feel sharper and more connected. And studies back her up. Dance and coordination-based movement have been shown to improve memory, balance, and even protect against dementia. And guess what? You don't have to go to a dance class. You can turn on a favorite song in your kitchen and move however feels good. The key is to engage both your mind and your body, even if your dance is just swaying in your chair and snapping your fingers. Now let's take it one step further, literally, by talking about one of the simplest, most overlooked brain exercises, walking. But not just walking with your feet, walking with your mind. Here's what I mean. The next time you go for a walk, whether it's around the block, through the grocery store, or just to the mailbox, make it a mindful walk. Pay close attention to what you see, what you hear, what you feel. Name the colors you notice. Count the number of birds you hear. Feel the breeze on your skin. This kind of mindful movement helps calm the nervous system, sharpen focus, and increase memory retention, all while lowering stress. A man I knew, a retired teacher, said he used his walks as thinking time. He'd pick a question before he left the house, like, what made me happy this week? Or, what do I want to learn next? And he'd let his mind wander as he walked. Not only did it help his memory and creativity, but it also brought him a deeper sense of peace. That's the thing about brain exercises. They don't have to be loud, flashy, or complicated. The simplest things, telling a story, moving to music, or walking with purpose, can make a massive difference over time. And don't be fooled into thinking this kind of training is only for people who are already sharp. It's for everyone. It's especially powerful for those of us who've noticed a little forgetfulness creeping in. That's not a sign to give up. It's a sign to lean in, to wake up the mind, stretch it gently, and invite it to grow stronger. You've already got decades of wisdom, experience, and knowledge inside you. These exercises aren't about replacing any of that. They're about polishing it, protecting it, and making space for even more. Now, maybe you're thinking, this all sounds good, but what if I'm not very good at these things? Maybe you don't sing. Maybe you've never danced. Maybe writing feels awkward. That's okay. This isn't about being perfect. This is about participation. The act of trying is where the benefit lives. You don't have to do it well. You just have to do it. Start where you are. Try one small thing today. Tell your partner about your first car. Walk a little slower and notice the leaves on the trees. Hum a tune you haven't heard in years. Your brain will thank you for it. And remember, the goal here isn't to stay young. It's to stay engaged, alive, curious, because that's what keeps you smart, steady, and confident at every age. Sometimes the best brain exercises aren't the ones that make you sweat or think hard. They're the ones that make you laugh. Yes, laughter. Genuine, full body, can't help but smile kind of laughter. It may seem simple, but it's actually one of the most healing things you can do for your mind. When you laugh, your brain releases feel-good chemicals like dopamine and endorphins. These don't just lift your mood, they also enhance your memory and creativity. Laughter relieves stress, which is one of the biggest blocks to clear thinking. And when stress goes down, focus goes up. So watch a funny movie, share a joke with your grandkids. Call that one friend who always cracks you up. Even laughing at yourself when you forget where you left the remote, it all counts. It keeps the mind light, flexible, and resilient. But let's go even deeper now, because the final brain exercise I want to share with you is something you might not expect. And yet it's one of the most powerful. Gratitude. That's right. Practicing gratitude actually changes the structure of your brain. Scientists have found that people who regularly reflect on what they're thankful for have stronger neural pathways related to decision-making, memory, and emotional regulation. And it doesn't take a whole gratitude journal or a big ceremony. Just one quiet moment in the day to think, what's something good that happened today? Or, what made me smile this morning? There's a gentleman I once met who had been through a lot, lost his wife, went through major surgery, and lived alone. But every night before bed, he made a habit of saying one thing he was grateful for out loud. Sometimes it was big, like a visit from his daughter. Sometimes it was small, like the way the sunlight hit the kitchen counter. He said that habit saved his mind from spiraling into sadness. It gave him perspective. It trained his brain to look for the good. And that kind of positive mental framing isn't just about happiness. It directly affects memory and focus. Gratitude is one of those exercises that sneaks up on you. You might not feel a change right away, but over time, it softens the rough edges. It clears out mental clutter. It helps your thoughts settle, so the important things, like remembering where you put your wallet or what you were just saying, can rise to the surface more easily. So here we are. We've explored music and storytelling, dancing and walking, trying new things, laughing, and even just giving thanks. None of it required fancy gadgets. None of it required a PhD or hours of free time. All of it is accessible. All of it is doable. And all of it can make a real difference. Not just in how sharp your memory is, but in how alive you feel each day. The truth is, staying smart after 70 doesn't mean memorizing trivia or solving complicated problems. It means staying connected to your body, your thoughts, your creativity, and the people around you. It means giving your brain the variety it craves and the stimulation it needs. Most of all, it means showing yourself that growth doesn't stop just because the candles on your birthday cake say otherwise. And if you're sitting there thinking, it's too late for me, let me stop you right there. And it's not. The brain has this beautiful gift called neuroplasticity. That means it can change, grow, adapt, and build new connections no matter how old you are. Even one new habit can start a ripple effect that brings more clarity, better memory, and a brighter outlook. So give yourself permission to play again, to be curious, to dance in the kitchen, to tell stories that make people laugh, to learn one new thing that excites you, to look out the window and say, that tree is beautiful. You're not just exercising your brain, you're honoring it. You're keeping it alive, aware, and open. And now I'd love to hear from you. What's one thing from this video that you're excited to try? Have you already been doing something that helps keep your mind sharp? Drop a comment below and share it with us. You never know who you might inspire. If this video brought you value, don't forget to give it a thumbs up. It really helps support the channel and keeps this kind of helpful content coming. And if you're new here, consider subscribing. We're building a community of vibrant, wise, and empowered individuals who know that life after 70 can still be full of purpose, laughter, and discovery. Your brain is brilliant, and it deserves your love and attention. So keep going, keep growing, and most of all, keep believing that the best is never behind you. It's always still unfolding. Here's to living your sharpest, smartest, happiest life at any age.